What's happening? Now, as you know, I don't ever really enjoy Arsenal winning, but I do enjoy Tottenham losing. What an amazing result at the Emirates. I mean, they say that a week is a long time in politics, but a week is a really long time in football. Can you believe the change in fortunes of these two clubs? It was only about 2 weeks ago that Nuno was manager of the month. And at that point, Arsenal were in the precipice of a disaster. They played three, they'd lost three, they'd conceded five at City, they'd been beaten at Brentford, Chelsea made light work of them at the Emirates, and look how the fortunes have changed. Arsenal have won 3 on the bounce, and today is probably the most significant. Well, it is the most significant. I think they always say, don't they, that every game is only worth 3 points, but do you remember that Animal Farm book where they say some of them more equal than others? All points are equal, right? But some points are more equal than others, and Arsenal making light work of Tottenham like this, embarrassing Tottenham like this. I mean, this is a statement, this is significant. And Nuno Espirito Santo, or ninth choice Nuno, as I like to call him, when you think how many people they tried to employ before they employed their ninth choice Nuno, the longest managerial saga, the longest managerial appointment in the history of managerial appointments could be over before it's begun. I just cannot believe it. It finished 3-1. Smith-Rowe in amongst the goals again. He had a really good game. Aubameyang, Saka scored. Heung-min got a consolation goal, but there was very little point to it by then. 34 minutes. Arsenal were 3-0 up. After 34 minutes. After 65 minutes, I'm watching the game. 65 minutes into the North London derby, and the Arsenal fans have the audacity to ole. Every pass, ole, ole, ole. By the 75th minute, I can hear Arsenal fans, the cheek, having the audacity to sing to Nuno Espirito Santo, "You're getting sacked in the morning," after everything that's been written about Mikel Arteta. Maybe Arteta does have this plan. Maybe Arteta does have this project. Maybe he is part of this process that we keep hearing about. It is truly unbelievable. I mean, Arsenal were brilliant. They wanted it more. I think it was that. I think it was a case of just sheer desire and hunger. They were quick, they were sharp, and as quick and as sharp as they were, Tottenham were blunt, Tottenham were flat, Tottenham lacked any sort of effervescence. There was just nothing to them. No formation, no shape, no idea, no identity, no strategy. Tottenham are lost. They are a lost cause. And it's really worrying. When you think about where that club could end up this season, I think they are in a real quandary. They were tore in two by Arsenal. And throughout the pitch, Arsenal won every single mini duel. You know, often a football match will be contested player for player. Arsenal won, I'd say 100% of their individual contests. It doesn't matter whether it was Ben White dominating Harry Kane. I suppose I have to mention that Ben White probably should have conceded a penalty to Harry Kane. But again, by that point, it was done. It wouldn't have made a difference. But 90% of that duel was won perfectly by Ben White. Tomiyasu, again, won his duel brilliantly. He subdued Heung-min. Again, I know Son scored, but I'm talking overall here, okay? So don't be coming at me with any little moments like that. I mean, Tomiyasu dominated. He kept Heung-min totally subdued, totally quiet, made him look like he was lacking any ideas. It was a strong, strong performance from him. You look at the midfield pivot, and it sounds unambitious. You know, when you start talking about two, both Partey and Granit Xhaka, that arguably sounds a little bit unambitious, uninspiring, but it wasn't. It was actually the catalyst for a lot of Arsenal attacks. It was actually a very clever way to do it. The only worry, they really looked like they had a partnership. They really looked like they were playing very well together, those two. So the fact that Granit Xhaka needed help limping off the pitch is a slight concern, because he really did have a good game. Like, you know, when Xhaka's good, he can be good. And I italicise the second good there. I think it was that. Obviously, I mean, down the left, Smith-Rowe dominating. Down the right, Saka doing the same thing. Odegaard being very inventive, creative, trying, asking questions, constantly probing. And Arsenal were basically irresistible in that first half. It was as good a half as you have seen this season. It was comparable to Chelsea's half at Tottenham last week. Gosh, that was only a week ago. Tottenham. Oh my days, a week before that, they got slapped up by Palace. They've conceded 9 goals in 3 games. In 3 London derbies, they've conceded 3 goals per game. Do you ever wish there were a kicker? Like, do you ever sort of wish that we could go back in time and get a kickoff? I would think that would have been the best kickoff ever. I would have enjoyed that so much. Watching Tottenham flounder like this, it's truly brilliant. I had a great day on the kickoff doing the boxing, doing the knockout last night. Listening to Lawrence Oswecki and Geordie and McCullough and that chatting about the boxing was brilliant. And I'll tell you what, this game today, this game at Arsenal, if that was a boxing contest, the referee would have called it off after about 3 rounds. Tottenham needed to be put out of their misery. Do you know what, actually? That beatdown that we saw at Tottenham yesterday from Alexander Usyk was the worst beatdown that I've seen in that Tottenham stadium for 7 days. It was that significant. I just can't believe what's happening to Tottenham. I feel like they do have exceptional players, but there's no organisation. It looks like there's no belief. They're just brittle, and people need to start asking questions about their manager. He is not a good enough manager to manage at this level. He really isn't. I don't rate him. I said it even when he was at Wolves. I know Wolves got to the Europa League quarter-final, but he has a ceiling. He is such an unambitious manager. It's Mourinho, but without the charm and the track record and the trophies. It's Mourinho. Everything that you associate with Mourinho that isn't good, it's this. It's what he is doing to this Tottenham team. And yeah, I just don't know where they're going to go from here. I mean, when you think about how the Tottenham fans must be feeling, I'll tell you what was very significant. Harry Kane went over to the Tottenham fans at the end of the game to clap them off. There's about 200 left. There's about 200 Tottenham fans hung about for the full-time whistle. But yeah, I mean, Arsenal were magnificent and drove those Tottenham fans out of the stadium. I mean, they were just faster into their stride. They had a sustained level of intensity. You know, I think sometimes you see bursts from this Arsenal team, but this was kind of controlled aggression with an alacrity to attack. Like the intention was to attack. Something that Mikel Arteta has perhaps been suggested of not doing enough. But maybe Arteta's getting it right. You know, the philosophy we were told was to recruit young, hungry, determined players with a point to prove. And that is looking like it could pay dividends. I mean, these characters, they do seem to be mentally robust, physically robust. I mean, every time, every duel that happened, they came out on top. I tell you, there was a moment where I thought this is very, very important. I think Aubameyang chased down a lost cause, and as he missed the ball, he took out the defender. Arteta did it. Arteta held the ball out. Do you see that? Arteta held the ball out. Just as the Tottenham player was about to take it, he dropped it on the floor. I think things like that are important, and they mean something, and they're relevant to the result of the match. There is a genuine link. There is a strong correlation between that sort of behaviour and winning the game. All the best teams have that element of spite, or whatever you want to call it, housery, or whatever people call it. There is that. So I think this is curtains. This is curtains for Tottenham, and I don't know how low they could sink. I really do not know quite how low they could go. Yeah, do you know what? It was when Aubameyang chased down Sanchez and launched him over. It set the tone. You do get those moments, man. You do get it. So yeah, I think that that level of defiance, that level of aggression, that level of nastiness is necessary. And where Tottenham go from here, I do not know. But for Arsenal, it's about as good as it gets, isn't it? What a result. And I remember saying on this channel a little while ago, if Mikel Arteta is sitting here as the full-time whistle blows on 9 points, they have no problem. Well, guess what? He's sitting on 9 points. Massive day for the Gooners. I'm sure you're over the moon. Any Arsenal fans watching this video, congratulations. And I never want to see you win, but if you're ever going to win a game, I'm happy it's this one. I hope you've enjoyed this video, everyone. Please do me the honour of clicking subscribe. See you in a bit.